Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Collectors community. I'm your host, Nico, and join with me today, as always, we got my co-host, Chris. How you doing, man?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You guys might notice my eyes a little red here today. I got something stuck in my eye earlier. Rubbed the contact a little bit, and yeah, so it's a little bit
Pink
irritating.
eye.
Yeah, pink eye, exactly. That's trust me, I've been getting that all day at work. Like, what's going on with your eye? It started last night too. So we had pre-recorded some episodes of watching the throne over on the late night chat network, guys. And to keep continuity's sake, because we kind of bank a couple of episodes of those at a time. I literally am just red-eyed for like fucking 2 episodes, and I'm just like, I had to explain it at the start of every one of them. That's how self-conscious I am, right? It's like I wish I was stoned like JT, my co-host JT on that show, but I'm like I'm not. I just got fucking shit on my eyes. So there you go. That's what you get for wearing contacts, guys. Be like Chris, wear your glasses. But welcome back, everybody, to Comic Shop Talk. This is a comic book show, not a show of me rambling. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you want to hear those rants and others. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure to give us the thumbs up here, that like button, guys. Hit the notification bell to be notified of when these shows do go out. Make sure to check out the Late Night Chat Network, our sister channel, as I previously just mentioned. And we're here to talk about the comics that came out for the week of July 19th this week. And spoiler warning, be forewarned, we are going to get into what happened in these books. We're going to be showing off some of the preview art. So just be forewarned. You can read your books and come back if you're worried about getting spoiled. But yeah, we do got to talk about the books. And sometimes as a result, things get spoiled along the way. But yeah, we got some Marvel comic solicitations that we're going to be discussing at the end of this episode too. So stay tuned for that, guys. That'll be interesting to take a look at some of the new books that are going to be coming out in September. October 2023, I think, are this list we're going over today. And yeah, so stay tuned for that and all that good stuff. So, Chris,
All right, another stellar week. Let's talk comics. Cheers.
I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not, guys. All right, first up on the docket here, we got big game number one. Big release this week from Mark Millar. And
Got the copy
oh,
here.
very nice.
Good
I read
stuff.
this one digitally. And Pepe Larraz, who was an artist on X-Men. I think last I saw him over at Marvel there, definitely during the time that Hickman was still doing X-Men. Great artist. What'd you think of this, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the art was great here. The story, I guess they're just kind of touching all the bases here, getting everybody up to speed. I kind of like the idea they have there about all the heroes kind of being forgotten, and that's why, they kind of tie it into I guess, their modern day society where, we're so all enthralled about, the Marvel movies and all that. It's all because the heroes were there, and so I think that's a nice story beat, let's say. And I'm not familiar with a lot of the Image World or the Mark Millar characters, so it's good to see a lot of them kind of come into the fold. I'm familiar with the ambassadors; they were there. You have the kick-ass people showing up. I only know them. I knew them from the movie, so it was good seeing them. I don't know if the Kingsmen were there or not. I might have missed them if they were. And I don't know. There's a lot going on here, and I was hoping for more of this Nemesis, brutality. I think he wipes out one of the ambassadors. I thought that was a good scene there. Where they're trying to, I guess, trap the ambassadors, or that the Pakistan ambassador. And it looks like he pulls the number on him. So I thought that was a good storyline. I was hoping for more of that sort of thing, but I think that's something to look forward to. What do you think about it?
I liked it. I mean, this is a very ambitious miniseries that he's putting together here, and I know you don't have maybe knowledge on all the characters that were introduced in this issue, but like, for what it was, and I think the way that he's slowly kind of bringing everybody together here. Not everybody was revealed here, but if they weren't shown, there was a lot of other characters at least mentioned or talked about, and if that's how he's going to basically do it in order to fit in all of the Millerverse type stuff and actually let you know that they all exist within the same world within this 5-issue miniseries, I mean, that's I'm sure he's gonna try his best in order to pull that off. So I was kind of just impressed by him even trying to go for it, like he did in this issue, because there really has been no lead up of any of these people coming together in their individual miniseries really up to this point. So, and to your point, I did like that whole, he did kind of start that storyline at the end of the Nemesis Reloaded series, the whole thing about the heroes having
Yeah,
died out long ago, and now there's like kind of a reemergence of them. I do like that, and it was interesting to see some of the villains. It looked like were made up of villains from one of his oldest series, which was turned into a film, that Wanted movie. I don't know if you remember that, the Angelina
yeah,
Jolie one, which is kind of loosely based on his comic for that matter, but. And I don't feel it really holds up that well because I actually read it not too long ago. But this seems like he's kind of having a second go at it, because it seemed like he kind of veered away from the villains from the original Wanted and the Nemesis, the original Nemesis series and stuff like that. So kind of bringing them back to the forefront and having them face off against all of his other heroes he's established along the way. It's really neat. This was kind of my favorite part, though, the part that he had kick-ass Dave Lazinski, or whatever his fucking name is, right into the woman who runs the ambassadors. And it's
yeah,
true, that being one of his earlier successes, Kick-Ass was a guy with no powers. So that's an interesting idea. I think that he would be reaching out, being like, hey man, like I'm one of you guys, but yet I'm powerless. So can you help me out here? Right. I kind of really enjoyed that idea. I thought that was really interesting. You seen Prodigy in this, which is this guy here in this scene, this dude. And this guy is Starlight, which is essentially this was from his book Starlight. This is like his what the fuck is his name? Kind of like his like he's one of those space dudes, like a pulpy space kind of character of some
like a
sort.
Flash Gordon type of guy or
Flash
something.
Gordon. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Flash Gordon. I couldn't remember his name. That's exactly what this character is, a Flash Gordon type of character. So I really love that book too. That was one of my favorite books that he's done, the Starlight book. So like I'm kind of really hyped up for this. It was a solid issue. I don't think it like was, the best thing ever, but that being said, on a week like this week, it was a strong contender for favorite of the week, honestly. And the art is fantastic. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Like, even though you didn't maybe know some of these characters, like obviously Kick-Ass and stuff like that, but like, were you able to kind of still connect with
Oh yeah, I'm down for the story. I want to say, he's putting something together here. You could definitely see that, and there's some mystery involved. You know, there's some people there that remember the time of Heroes, so it's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to more. I think, like I said, this is very ambitious. So I think that he did a really good job with get. I mean, I love these getting the band together types issues, as I've mentioned before on the show here. And seeing all these characters all together in the same thing that he's created was really cool. So yeah, it could have been really bad, but I thought it was pretty decent. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see. Still got a few issues to go. I think it was funny too.
Yeah,
They mentioned like the nightclub, like they showed it like in the pictures, the nightclub, the vampires at one point, and then they kind of just mentioned the chrononauts. Like they threw out a bunch of names of different characters they didn't
yeah.
show.
Well, I guess still got 5 issues or 4 more issues to go, so I got to have something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. So what'd you give this out of 5?
I'll give it a 4. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.25. I'm gonna give it the extra bump because, like I said, very ambitious. I thought it was done well in the art. Or otherwise, though, I'm with you on the 4, but I'm gonna give it a little bit more just because of those things. I think this week.
Yeah,
All right, next up, we got Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder #1. I got this cover here. I think it's the base of the A cover for this one, which is pretty cool. I do like this one. Let's see what Chris has
oh,
got
and
here.
I got an art germ variant.
Oh, let's see that one. Ooh, that's a nice one. Yeah, very
So that's
nice.
her hair there. Her hair looks like another person. I got that red ponytail. I was thinking it's another person standing behind her,
Yeah, it
but
does kind of
otherwise, it's still a decent cover.
or dog or something. I don't know.
Yeah, just a giant ponytail.
Yeah. What'd you think of
But
this?
anyway, that was okay. It was a fun read. I was hoping for more, meteor stories, let's say, but I think one story might have been good. I kind of like this first one, I guess. Where you just have her, Harley Quinn's just a pain in the ass, and she's with Ivy, and so it's all like, just fun Harley stories.
Yeah, I think this first one was my favorite of the bunch. This is the written by Chip Zdarsky, Kevin McGuire on art. It kind of had a fun little ending where you find out Superman in the Fortress of Solitude has a Batman butler type guy that like helps out during poker nights.
Yeah, kind of like that. They
uh,
open the door and they're all playing cards there. Like, oops.
yeah, which gets back to Batman by the end of this, and he's like, "Hey, what's this thing about this Batman robot you got?" And Superman's like, So that was kind of just like a funny little gag.
Yeah,
This second story was no good. I don't know. I mean, I guess an original idea, but I don't fucking need to read
yeah,
a story about her trying to be a gymnast. What the fuck was this? I'm just like, okay, like,
yeah. Like I've never heard that she was some like Olympic level athlete there, and then she's breaking out from the the mean coach or something.
yeah, that was yeah, that
It
was
was an okay story, but it didn't ring true for a Harley story.
it was original. I'll give it that. Like, it's
Yeah,
definitely a Harley story I've never seen. Is it one I really needed in my life? Not really. I will say the art was good throughout the issue, though. I think the artists were all good in this. And then yeah, this last one. Speaking of artists, Tom Riley, great job on this story. I'm a big fan of this guy's art. He's an up and comer. I really enjoyed the art on this one. The story was okay.
I forget what story went on in here,
This is the
but
one about Gaggy and basically it's more about like the Joker's henchman, this Gaggy guy.
oh yeah, I know that one. Then yeah, she kind of teams up with Catwoman at the end
That's
or
right.
something. Yeah, I think the art was good for this one.
He actually, this artist appeared on two things that came out from DC this week. One we're going to be talking about later. He's really good. Yeah. So like the thing with these black and white and red books, again, they're anthologies. I'm not huge on anthologies. I do like Harley as a character, but the thing that you can usually guarantee in these books, at the very least, if you don't enjoy all the stories, is the art teams are all always really good. So I mean, I'll be continuing with this. I know you picked it up basically just for the cover, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll probably read it online, but I'll be continuing with it.
yeah. What'd you
Um,
give it?
yeah, I'll give it a 3.5.
I'll give it a 3.75. Next up, we got Void Rivals number 2. Got my issue right here. Now, Chris, did you? I know you said you read this. Did you end up reading number 1 as well, or
Yeah, I read number one and
you read
two.
1 and 2? Okay, so let me grab the
Yeah,
art here. So, what'd you think of this so far?
well, this one here, I guess, is just more of a exposition story as well. Try and get the history of these two planets and see what's going on. I was hoping there'd be more tie-ins to this Energon universe, but maybe that's something to look forward to later on. But I guess if you're really down for the story here, this will let you know what's going on, and I guess those two people there, or these two, I guess the two nations, they're more alike than they led on to believe.
Yes.
And then these two people, I guess, that symbolize these two nations working together to save themselves. That's a nice story in itself. That do seem to get off the planet, but nothing big going on in here that was any wow worthy.
I think it's I think it's gonna be a slow build of sorts. Apparently the character that shows up at the end of this issue, because I had to look it up, I wasn't sure, is a character from the Transformers universe, which I wasn't aware of. So both
Oh,
issues they have introduced the Transformers element into it. So I'm
yeah.
not familiar
Another
with
thing, maybe that asteroid was some transformer or something, because it's kind of hidden like an asteroid and turns into a robot inside. But
right.
who knows?
I do like the story that they're telling here, though, like you said, about two alien races that are sworn enemies of each other that aren't so different after all type of story. I mean, I feel like it's been done before, but it still is a good, well-told story with good art so far. I'm enjoying the series. I'm kind of just all in
Yeah,
at this moment on this Energon universe, and we'll see what comes of it. I'm in at least for the first arc, and I'll see where this
yeah,
goes. But yeah, this character that shows up here at the end, I don't know if you guys are big Transformers fans out there. I've never heard of this guy before, but he's some sort of dinosaur creature. And Skuxxoid. Apparently, he is from the Transformers universe. So again, as I mentioned, guys, spoilers. So this may be a big deal to some of you, or this could be like a character that showed up once on a Transformers cartoon or something, right? Maybe like a
yeah.
very deep cut of a Transformers reference where somebody like the one Skuxxoid fan out there is like, oh my god,
What
like
did you tell me for?
But for me, I was like, who? It was like when
Yeah,
like the guy was Star Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like, I'm Star Lord, dude. He's like, who? It's like that was what he's like. Hey guys, I'm Skuxxoid. I'm like, who? That was me at the end of it. So I don't know. It was all right. I like the issue though. I think it's a good story so far. I'm gonna continue with it. Do you think you're gonna continue
yeah.
for now?
I'll continue reading it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind if I did buy these ones because it could be start of something big for any speculators out there. But who knows? And Kirkman, he's a bankable, I guess, writer.
Absolutely, but I mean, like, if you missed the boat on this, check out the Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson. That's going to be coming out, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely going after that, and maybe see what these GI Joe stuff coming up with it too.
I was about to say that as good as this has been so far, I think obviously that's what everyone's going to be waiting for. I think it's interesting he's telling a story in that world while not being centered on those characters. So again, I think it's a very ambitious and interesting thing Kirkman's trying to do. You would think that somebody like Kirkman, being a big name like he is, would flock towards the Transformers or GI Joe books, but yet he just wants to tell a story that's something new inside of a new universe that he's creating for them. So I think it's really cool, but like everyone's going to be checking out the Transformers GI Joe books over this, you know what I mean? So like if you're missing out on this,
Yeah.
don't miss the boat on that Transformers book, especially. I'll say that much. But so what'd you give this?
I think this Void Rivals is gonna be like the surprise or the secret inside, that ties it all together.
It might be. It might be. It might be. So, well, like I said, I could try to help you out if you're looking for those issues. Let me know. What would you give this out of 5?
I'll give it a 3.75.
I'm gonna give it a 4. Again, I think it was really good art, and I like the story that they're telling. Did anything too over the top happen in this? No, not really. But again, looking at the week of books that we had this week, I think it was another good installment. Let's say. All right, Hawk Girl #1, Chris, new release of a 6-issue miniseries that came out this week from DC.
Yeah, I just pulled this one up online. Just I was out there on Tuesday evening to read, and just see what's going on with Hawk Girl. And I don't know this whole story there. There's a lot of it's told like a fairy tale or something in there, and I don't know. It was an interesting read, but I don't really have much to say. I don't even know what's going on in here. They kind of throw some got some cameos from Superman and Power Girl there. I think there, they kind of let her die, and I thought she was dreaming at one point, and I'm getting tired of all these dreams, and we can talk about that later on. But it turns out she wasn't. Somebody saves her. There's some new character. It's an okay read, but not a big fan of Hawk Girl, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I can't. It's not the greatest review of the comic, but I wasn't really looking forward to reading this too much. I just kind of read it on a whim.
It was a small week for us, guys, so we might be talking about some books we normally wouldn't check out to begin with. So yeah, I agree with Chris on that one. You weren't totally 100% invested on this one. It sounds like you just like,
yeah, like I wasn't even going to tell you I read this, but just we'll go see what's happening.
Yeah,
and I was thought Hawk Girl was a redhead, but anyways, yeah, it's some different Hawk Girl here, I guess.
I think you're thinking of Hawk Woman.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was all the same person.
No,
my God, don't cancel me.
Listen, Hawkman is one of the most confusing fucking, or like, honestly, like, the continuity of Hawkman is one of the most confusing characters in all of comics, if you ask people, because he's been reinvented, I feel like 3 or 4 times at this point. So like it's very hard to like, and so there is a Hawk Woman and there is a Hawk Girl, I'll tell you that much. But everything else, I wouldn't guarantee anything about these characters because I'm like, I don't even know myself. I like Hawkman a lot as a character in small doses. I feel like he's had some good comics that I've read over the year, but nothing where it's just like he's he's no A-list. Let's say that. What'd you get out of 5?
I thought the art was good. I'll give it. The story's decent. I'll give it a 3.5. Like it wasn't bad, but if I bought it, I wouldn't mind, but I don't miss. I'm not going up to the store to buy this one after reading it.
Yeah, and I guess you probably won't bother with the rest of it. I would think, right?
No, we'll see how the weeks go by.
All right. Next up, we got Extreme Venomverse #5, the Jeff issue.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the only reason I bought it. They've been my store's been feeding me these ones, and I go, okay, I'll take it. And this one, they didn't give it to me, and I saw it lying on the counter. I go, "Oh, you got an extra copy of
The one you
that?"
actually
Because basically, I just wanted that Jeff. I just wanted that Jeff Venom, the Venomized Jeff story there. And it's almost like that first story, the Harley Quinn thing. It's just a fun story where they don't tell you how Jeff got venomized, but he was. And then who's that? Kate Bishop. She's all scared in the beginning that Jeff was going to eat her, but it seems he's still the lovable character that he was. And then they go to a rock concert, and the band there uses their music to get the venom off Jeff the Shark. And the second story here, I know there's some baseball. What's that? Flash Thompson, I guess, just a different universe where he's a sports writer, and I don't know, a meteor hits a tree in his backyard, and then he turns that tree into a bat, and the venom's in the bat. Whatever. And then at the end, somebody picks him up from that death of the Venomverse, because they're doing that same sort of Spider-Man story where they're trying to build a whole Venom team because Carnage is out to kill them all. Mm-hmm. And I think this third one, there's I guess the Kingpin's venomized here, and the Carnage does come here, and he does kill him. So not too bad. All right, there's another story here. Yeah, it was almost like Pacific Rim, and Flash Thompson is in a giant mech Venom. No, it was a fun story, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's all just I'm only at 32% power. Oh, we're sending in the care package, and it was all just all show no go, let's say. Yeah. But they're fun stories for this, and I don't expect much out of it. I got Jeff on the cover. That's fun. That's good enough for me. A venomized Jeff. That's worth a 5 in my book. No, that's a 3.5 too. Nothing big.
How much? Sorry, what was that?
3.5.
Okay. All right. So next up, we got Arcade Kings #3. I never get the preview art in time for this one, unfortunately. So this is the book here. I've really enjoyed this miniseries so far, but this is probably my least favorite of the issues. This is the middle of the miniseries. I think this is a 5-issue miniseries. Every issue has been oversized. They're all like 64 pages. Dylan Burnett, written and drawn by him. I'm a big fan of. This was my least favorite of issues so far because it didn't really center in on the main character that was in the first 2 issues. He's been looking for his long lost brother, essentially, that he had a falling out with when they were younger, throughout the first 2 issues. And this issue kind of took some time to tell you like kind of what he's been up to currently and a little bit about his past with his brother and everything. So it was from his perspective, which isn't a bad thing. Like, it's good when they dedicate issues to that kind of stuff to kind of like, fill in the blanks a bit of the story and focus on another main character. But what I didn't like about it is the whole issue, all like 64 pages or whatever, it was focused on him. And then you got the single panel last page where his brother showed up and he's like, "Hey, how's it going, brother?" Like, I'm like, why couldn't you have brought him in like halfway through? I'm like, I kind of it felt like a waste of an entire issue of them telling the backstory and current standing of this character, which is important. But I just feel like the pacing could have been done better with the amount of pages that he had in this. And he could have actually brought his brother into this issue and have them work whatever shit they had going on between the two of them, before heading into the next issue. Now we kind of just got that literally at the end, the last page when the guy showed up. And I'm just like, fuck. Now we got to deal with that in the next issue. And then what? We have 1 issue left to wrap everything up for this miniseries. So I just thought, despite this being such every issue has been oversized, I just felt he didn't use his time wisely on this one. He spent too much time, I think, focused on the brother in this one instead of having our main character that we've been following, benched for the whole issue, right? So that's just a nitpick. That's kind of like a bit of a backseat driver type fucking comment. Like, I would write it like this. Like, I fucking know what I'm talking about, right? So is it, it is a criticism of it, but I don't know if it's warranted or not. Just me personally, I would have rather seen more of the other character in this issue, right? It was fine. I think the art's been great throughout, and I think it's a really fun series still. But I mean, if I'm going to compare it to the first 2 issues of the series, this is my least favorite. Not to say that it was bad, and I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
next up, Got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin, The Lost Day Special. Same thing. This is a singular special issue outside of the current miniseries, which is the sequel to The Last Ronin that's coming out right now. But this one basically centered in on the new turtles, basically the new, young children turtles that uh, old April O'Neil in the future, now that all the Ninja Turtles, the original ones, are dead, is basically taking care of and being a mother for, essentially, or a grandmother, let's say, because April's daughter, I guess, is almost like the mother to them. So yeah, this was just a singular issue focused on those turtles, and it kind of takes place outside of the current mini series that's going on right now. Again, as a singular story, I thought this was really well done. The thing that I kind of really liked about this issue is the artist that was originally on the first Last Ronin miniseries, who didn't return for the second miniseries, who's a much better artist than the artist that's on the current miniseries. Ben Bishop drew majority of this issue. It kind of made me sad because I'm like, why aren't you fucking drawing the other miniseries, man? What are you doing on this special issue? You should have just put another artist on this one. So, the artist they have on the current miniseries, which I dropped because I'm like, I'm gonna pick up the hardcover anyways. I don't like as much as this original artist from the first series. So, I just wish that was different. Otherwise, yeah, this was a good singular story. It gave you a lot of time with these new turtle characters, and you got to learn a lot about them and the relationship with April. And yeah, it was good. 3.75 out of 5, this one.
Nice.
Next up, we got Batman Superman World's Finest, number 17, which is the end of this current arc with all the Metamorpho and the robots and everything else. What'd you think of this, Chris?
Yeah, for an end of arc, I thought it was a decent story there. A lot of stuff going on again. Getting all the superheroes getting their ass handed to them by that new Mazo or new Amazo. And every time, you think a new superhero or a new bunch of heroes come in, they're going to come in and save the day. That new Amazo just freaking cracks them and sends them away, and a couple of heroes show up and they're like, who's it, Batman, telling me, hey, just stay back, stay back. And as they try and crack the code on how to defeat this new Amazo, and I guess they do figure it out. I don't want to talk about that. They use the old Amazo and basically kind of make some sort of energy loop, and they both explode. And then I guess you just have that. Even still, though, he's still coming back out of the ashes there, and
Terminator,
I get one of those guys to give the final blow. And that was all good, but the worst part of this comic was like the not the solicitation, but
no, I know.
the preview. The preview for the next arc. It's like, whoa. If I was going to get back into it, I'm not now. I'll tell you that much. But I don't know if you want to talk about this Boy Thunder character. One thing I had about this Boy Thunder is that at the end of one issue, he turns into Mangog, that kind of started all that Kingdom Come business. And if they're still working on that, that makes this Boy Thunder a lot more interesting. But I don't know if I'm down for that ride.
And I mean, Mark Waid is writing this, and Mark Waid did write Kingdom Come. So it is kind of interesting in that sense. But you're right. Yeah. The introduction of this character was no bueno, not very good. Listen, that wasn't disappointing last page, because the first panel here, they're like, next up is the untold origin of the Superman Batman team. And they got like the Riddler in the background. I was like, yes. And then it says, and the return of Boy Thunder. I'm like, no. Because, as we've talked about here on the show, that was like our least favorite arc of the series. It's what broke Chris, and he's never come back into the series, at least picking it up in issues, although he's been reading it. And it's been great ever since. So, like, I'm like, why are you bringing this guy? Right? I like this final moment of Metamorpho finally cleaning.
Yeah, because I love Metamorpho. I love this arc. I thought this arc was great.
This arc was great.
The characters, the art is great in the story. And then, maybe I'll get back in. And then, boom, they freaking hit me over the head again with Boy Thunder. And why I like Spider Boy, but I don't like Boy Thunder, I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. He was just very annoying, and maybe purposely so, right?
Purposely so. Yeah.
If he is turning into a villain, that's probably why he wrote him as such a piece of shit, right? We didn't like him. So, anyways, what'd you give this out of 5?
I'll give it a 3.75. Well, that was good.
Same. 3.75. Good conclusion to the arc. Great arc. And yeah, looking forward to more still, despite the Boy Thunder stuff. Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker #3. You read this, right?
Yeah, I read that one too.
What'd you think of this?
I think the story's getting a little old to me now, or the thrill is starting, the shine is starting to come off a little bit. But it's still decent stuff. I'm still trying to figure out this Harley and Neo business, and I think they're trying to, I guess, bring some cachet to this by having Batman, I guess, or Bruce Wayne back in the story at the end. But I don't know. Enough already. Let's go. Keep on going. Move it on, and let's get back to the White Knight with Batman.
Yeah, I love to say that I disagree with you, Chris, but I agree. I think like the first issue started off really strong. I don't think any follow-up issue so far, 2 or 3 with this one, were as good as that first introduction issue. I think that was much better than I feel like we were expecting. I know you were pleasantly surprised as well. You kind of
Yeah.
didn't check this one out in actual physical release. And I figured it was worth checking out. I've been kind of all in on the White Knight stuff. Again, it isn't bad, but it isn't as good as the White Knight stuff has been either. No, so I don't know. We still got 3 more issues. This is a 6-issue miniseries, so maybe he can bring it. They can bring it home. I think the art's still really good. I'm still invested in these characters and this world. It's just yeah, it's kind of losing my interest a little bit as well, like Chris said. So I do think it's cool that they went to Arkham Asylum in this, though.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll make things moving into the next issue with that and the fact that Mr. Freeze shows up. I guess we'll see. What'd
Yeah,
you
I'd
give
like
it
to
for
see
this?
more of the Harleys and less of these kids.
Yeah. What'd you give this out of 5 then? This one.
I'll give it a 3.5.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. Read my mind. All right. Next up. All right, guys. We're going into Night Terrors territory now for the rest of the episode. So if this
If you're asleep, don't worry.
it doesn't appeal to you, don't worry. It didn't appeal to us that much either. Most of these books, I can tell you. But it was a small week. So we figured once again, we'll check out some of the Night Terror issues for, we'll sacrifice ourselves for your guys' entertainment here and read some of these. And I think we cherry picked a few of the titles that came out this week. And I think next week's the last week of the new Night Terror books, and then that will have done it for the month. So did you read Superman #1, or did I just read that one?
I put it through. I'm pretty sure I read the Superman Night Terrors, and I wasn't impressed by it.
Okay, so this is Night Terror Superman #1. This is the other book that Tom Riley drew this week, the guy that did the Harley short story, the last one in that issue. And again, here's what I'll say about the Night Terror books. Again, there's a lot of good artists on these books. Maybe not even big household name artists, but good, stylistic, interesting artists that you may not always see on some of these books, that they kind of got together to do these 2-issue things. And, I think it's maybe like a primer or a tryout maybe for them to do more DC stuff in some of these artist cases, if I had to guess. But they had some good art talent on these books. So I will preface this conversation with all these Night Terror books we're about to talk about by saying that much. That much I'll say positively about it. I don't know if you agree on that, but I think there were some good artists along the way in some of these ones.
Well, it kills me when they have a good artist on this, and then on the regular titles, it's nice to have a new artist every once in a while. It's not like all these series have freaking tier 1
right
top talents. And that's what kills me. They have this kind of garbage story, and they're putting some decent artists or some great artists on this, and I just feel that it's a waste. Like there's a lot of good scenes in here, but freaking it's Superman. He realizes he's awake. Especially all these kind of top or whatever they're A1 heroes. I'm not really too impressed with any of the Night Terrors. And some of the other lower tier heroes, like the Punchline, we'll talk about it later. I thought I enjoyed a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But like these people, their inner workings have been kind of gone over with a fine tooth comb so many times already. It's nothing new that's in there. It's like, oh, here I'm sad, or oh, I'm going to be the last man alive, or I'm going to be the death of the earth, and we've I feel that it's a storyline that or a trope or whatever that's been done over and over again. Maybe this is a different way or a little nuanced, but at the end of the day, it's still the same story. So I wasn't. Is that like you say, just seeing this here is that that rocket ship wasn't a rescue vehicle; it was a bullet sent to Earth.
Yeah.
And that was maybe a different take on things. But other than that, I don't know if that's worth the price of admission.
Again, some cool visual scenes drawn by Tom Riley here, and but like as Chris mentioned, yeah, nothing that really sticks or is going to matter in another month. And for that matter, there wasn't too much to write home about in this issue. But again, I did like where it ended, and I did like the art on this issue. So, I mean, for what it's worth, I personally would give this issue a 3.5 this week. But yeah, the story was just fine. But I think
Yeah, like I don't mind these stories, but I just don't think they're necessary like to take out the running storylines. Like just kind of throw this in the middle of the summer. That's what's killing me.
yeah,
I
no,
guess
I
it's not killing me. It's keeping me save my pocketbook. I only bought like 3 comics this week. So that's not bad either.
no, I totally agree with what you're saying. I mean, again, I don't know if I would check out the second issue of this. I might just check out the art on the second one. I think, man, a lot of the ones that we've talked about where we've tried out some of these issues, because because of the fact that we're not getting our usual DC books, I think it's contributing to the fact that these last couple of weeks have been light for us, and why we are trying some of these out digitally just to kind of fill the roster and talk about something on the show. That being said, I don't think I'm even going to read the second issue, even though I'm reading a lot of these digitally of a lot of the ones that we've talked about so far, right? I mean, I know I gave my favorite of the week, Joker one. I'm definitely going to check that one out. But otherwise, I don't know. There might be one other one we're talking about tonight that I might check out. Superman #2 is going to be like a game time decision for me. I really like the artist, though. Tom Riley's really fucking good. So
Yeah,
I was happy.
like I said, they're not bad stories, but I don't know. It's just not what I'm looking for right now.
What'd you give this out of 5 then?
No, I'd give it a 3.5 as well.
Yeah. All right. These next two I didn't read. I know you checked out these. Night Terror's Catwoman #1. Anything good to say about this?
Yeah, this was just more like another Elseworld tale. I don't think even she realizes she's dreaming. It's almost like a Catwoman comes to a timeline where Batman is just starting out, but she seems to know everything. Like she runs into Batman before he even decide to call himself Batman, and she calls him Batman. He's like, "Oh, well, how do you know that? I didn't tell anybody that I was going to be Batman." And there's some storyline, I guess, with Catwoman's sister. I wasn't aware she even had a sister. The sister's a nun, I guess a superhero nun or something. So I don't know if that's canon or if that's just this nightmare part of the story. So I don't know. As a night terror, like that nightmare guy or insomnia, he didn't even show up in this. I don't think. So it just felt more like an Elseworld tale, which once again, it's not a bad story, but I don't know, they're trying to squeeze everything or tie everything together where they don't really have to, and I just think it's not necessary. Like it's a good story, but just kind of ramming it down your throat for no reason. And
I like
no,
the art.
like I
I
say, it
like
was
the
all
art on.
decent. It was a decent art style.
Mhm.
Some, everybody likes seeing Batman and Catwoman meet for the first time again, and now this time it's Catwoman that seems to know everything. It's not a Batman variant going into a different world. So, but once again, it's give it a 3.5.
All right. Next up, Night Terror's Punchline #1. Man, does this book look good? I'll tell you that much. I looked at the art of putting this together, and Chris will have to let us know about if the writing is any good on this story. But I think the art. I'm not familiar with this artist. This looked fantastic. This book.
Yeah, and it's a great time where like a great character, I guess, to showcase with a great artist here. I think she's fighting Batgirl in this one here. She ends up killing her, but Batgirl keeps on coming back from the dead and just chasing her down the whole time. So once again, it's like it's a good one-shot story. That it fit nice in an anthology, but now they just tie it in with this night terror stuff, and I can't see how this is gonna change the DC world like they sell on these solicitations, but I thought the art was great in there. Once again, when I looked through this, I just wanted to kind of poke around and see what it's about. And with the art there, go, oh, maybe I'll give it a read. And it was decent, but once again, not nothing. I'll probably read the second one if it's the same artist again, just to see where the story goes. But if I didn't read the second one, I don't think I'd be too upset about that I'm missing something. Like, I don't know, 3.5.
All right. I think we're seeing a theme here.
Yeah, like they're not bad, but they're not good.
So
Not stellar.
next up, we got Night Terror's Wonder Woman #1. Just 2 more to go, guys. Don't worry. This was my favorite of the Night Terrors this week, actually. This one here. This was my favorite. I don't know what you thought about it. But you know me, I'm a sucker for the JLA Dark. So and this artist, Juan Ferreira, I think it's Juan Ferreira, this artist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this guy is really good. I like this artist as well. So like this was I quite like this. What did you think?
Yeah, once again, I didn't feel much for the story. Like, I think these bigger top tiers, I wasn't really too impressed with what they're doing with them in here. And like, I don't know, she wasn't awake in this one either, right? She's sleeping, or
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of talk with I guess all the with the Amazonian gods or the Roman gods that she follows, and Detective Chimp. I'm still not on board with him. I kind of like when he's around, but I'm not on board with him. And Constantine being around is good, but I wasn't too impressed with the whole. I didn't like this one at all either.
Okay, I dug this, but I think that's mainly just because I like the JLA Dark. So I'll probably end up reading the second one of this. I love the artist. I like these character. I love these characters. So for me, this could have been absolute dog shit, but I enjoyed it just because I like these guys. So, eh, I have the
I
JLA
do like
Dark.
those punches there. He had a few of those pages there where Wonder
Oh yeah,
Woman's punching and her fist is kind of blurry there because it's coming at you. I thought that was good.
he's a great artist, this guy. So that's what I mean. Like, I think to your point, though, the fact that they're wasting this guy on something like this, why don't you put this guy on a regular fucking book? Why isn't he drawing a JLA Dark book? There is no
Yeah,
fucking JLA Dark book anymore. The series is ended. And yet this seems like they just picked up where they left off with the same characters and the same team and everything else. So like, for me, I was like, oh man, I wish we still had the JLA Dark, right? So I'll take anything I can get at this point. So I was happy to see this. And I was not expecting it in the Wonder Woman title. Let's say that much. Like, because at first
yeah,
I wasn't going to check that out if it was just Wonder Woman. But then I was like, Wonder Woman was the leader of that team. And then I was like, oh, the JLA Dark's in this. Okay, I'll check it out. And for me, it was a treat amongst the Night Terror stuff, but not enough to give it a huge rating to either. I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. How about you? You
yeah.
said you didn't.
Stellar 3.5.
3.5. And then we're coming up on the last Night Terror book of the week here, guys. Night Terror's Nightwing #1, which I think was the worst one that I read this week. This was bad. You want to talk about a generic Night Terror book or just in terms of concept? The Batman ones have been pretty bad, I gotta say. Like this was bad. This one, they're just straight
Yeah,
up not good. Like I'm not gonna be reading the second one of this. What do you think?
yeah. What's with this one?
He
He's like trapped in the Arkham Asylum there or something. And then they throw him in jail, and
and then it turns
there's like
out.
a Pink Floyd video or something at the cops with the pig's head.
Yeah, and then you find out that he's like, "Oh, you killed Batman. You don't know what you're
Yeah,
doing here?" I'm like, "Come on, dude." Like,
yeah,
you want to talk about tired tropes? This is it. Right here. I was like, "Yeah, okay."
yeah,
And then that I will say it was creepy when Scarecrow literally came out of from under the bed somehow. Like he was all like scrunched underneath the bed and like he kind of like slinked out beneath underneath the bed at the end of this, which I thought was weird. But otherwise, yeah, this was the worst I think out of all the ones that I read this week.
yeah.
Again, the art's not bad, but the story is.
Yeah, and then his parents showing up. That's crazy.
I think this has been like these type of themes with the Batman shit. I think they've like some of these other characters you may have not seen like to this degree in terms of like these nightmare scenarios.
Yeah.
But because Batman has villains like the Scarecrow and things like that, I feel we've seen all these these things already in
Well,
Batman.
listen, they're hitting you over the head with it from all characters,
Yeah.
all at once, all at the same. Like, if this was happening in one story arc, okay, big deal. And everything going on in the world, that's fine. But you're freaking doing it in all the characters, all the stories, all at once. It's like, whoa, freaking relax, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again,
What'd you give?
I don't know. Use your psychic powers, Professor X. 3.5.
Oh, I'm giving this a 3.25. This one. This was my least favorite this week.
Hey, I liked one more than you then.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for what we read this week. Not a huge week. We tried to fill it out a little bit more for you there. We suffered through the night terrors. We had our own nightmare about reading these books.
Yeah.
You may not, don't expect as much in August. I'll say that with the night terrors. We got one
Well,
more
there's
week.
no DC coming out, and I'll probably read them anyways. But say I don't mind the story, but it's just
there's certain one. The only one out of the ones that I read this week, I will say that I will read the second for sure will be Wonder Woman, maybe Superman, but the rest. I mean, I didn't read Punchline or Catwoman, so I can't speak on that. But Nightwing's a no go. And if I had the checklist in front of you, I would tell you what else has been garbage that we've read so far. But there's very few.
yeah. Like if this was running through the annuals, I wouldn't be reading any of them. And then I think the only reason they cut out the main stories is because if they did, nobody would read these at all.
Right. Yeah, you might.
Like if these were one shots on their own,
be onto something there. All right, guys. So that's gonna do it for what we're gonna talk about that we read this week. But let's check out some Marvel solicitations for October, shall we? That'll be fun. Let's check that out. That's always a treat.
Wow.
Chris is gonna get in his position for solicits that he normally does.
That's it.
Getting his smokes ready here. All right, guys.
Gonna have a smoke when I make these big decisions.
All right, so let me bring that out. Shout out to comicreleases.com, which is the site we normally show off the solicits from. They do a good job of putting these things together. And let me just see here. Let me bring this up. One moment.
We're in these solicits, so I did look through them. Does Captain Marvel movie, or does that Marvel movie come out in October or something, or September? Because there's a whole lot of Captain Marvel out there.
Can you see the solicits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, just because I can't see the screen now, so but I'm on the solicits. As long as you can see it, we'll talk through it. But I can't see you right now because of the way I've set it up here.
Yeah.
So basically, I think there is some Ms. Marvel stuff. There has been an announcement on the Ms. Marvel guys that if you've missed that one, that she is a mutant now, just as I predicted or I talked about here. That was a theory going around that they are bringing her back as a mutant. I think to align herself with what they told on the show, with the TV show as well. They're bringing her back from death as a mutant. So I guess
I think they might bring her back by those. She might be resurrected by the Five. You know how they do their humanitarian efforts to special people, and then she might join the X-Men.
Yeah, so she might be part of the whole Krakoa crew there. So we'll see how what that brings, but
Sure, and big in their draw, let's say.
So yeah, I mean, if they want to boost her signal and get her more popular with folks, I mean, going through making her a mutant through the X-Men might be the case, right? And like I said, the show I think has already made her a mutant, or she will be once she's in the film. I think that she was referenced in the show, I think, as a mutant already. And if they do the same thing in the show, if I'm not, then it's probably going to be the same in the film. The Marvels that's going to be coming out soon. And I know Marvel, the films, want to slowly start bringing mutants into play as well now too, that they can finally do that. So I guess we'll see where that goes. But anyways, yeah, so this is October solicitations for Marvel this week, guys. We don't have DC as of yet, so you'll have to stay tuned for next week for those ones. But here we go. God's Number One by Jonathan Hickman and Valerio Shitti. Yes.
I'm not looking forward to it, but I will read it. Or I probably will buy it.
Not looking forward to it.
I don't know. These freaking. We'll see how it goes, but
I'm in. I'm totally in on this. This sounds interesting to me. Look at this. Look what it says in the solicits here. This
Yeah.
enormous exercise first issue features Doctor Strange, who, while not boring at all, is easily the most boring person in this book.
I'd rather solicitation be this might be garbage, but check it out. That's what they should write, and then I'd be more impressed.
Listen, I love the all the god type characters, like the Marvel cosmic type stuff. And it says Jonathan Hickman reinvent the cosmology of the Marvel universe. So I'm all in. I'm a big
Yeah,
Hickman fan, big fan of that. I'm all in. Then we got Captain Marvel #1 by a new creative team here. They're relaunching the book. Alyssa Wong and Jan Bazaldua on art.
yeah. Well, we'll see what the art looks like. Some nice covers
Yeah,
though.
I'm probably gonna
I
pass on
might
this.
buy one of these Captain Marvels. I don't know which one yet.
Okay. Then you got this, I guess, a one shot of Captain Marvel here. Assault on Eden #1. No, I'm good on this. Nice covers.
I think this might be, or was that cover just by that Gomez guy? Or
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, that is him on the cover. You're right. Good eye. Yes. I might have to read this online at the very least then.
if he's drawing it, then yeah, maybe at least read it
Yeah.
online.
Oh, no, no, no. So it's just his cover. It says
Or just the cover. Yeah, okay.
to be announced, the artist. Yeah, so no, I'm probably out on
Yeah,
that.
just nobody.
This is not. I wasn't expecting this. I mean, I know he was setting up the Ultimate Universe here, but I guess after the miniseries, we got a one shot called Ultimate Universe #1 by Jonathan Hickman. So yeah, I'm in on
Well, it's
that.
just a one shot. I thought they're starting a new series there, but yeah, I'll definitely get this Ultimate stuff.
I don't think he has plans on doing series, but I think that after this one shot, they may release some Ultimate Universe series, which I don't think he's going to be writing, but I think other people are going to step in. But yeah, I'll definitely. It's
Yeah,
going to be like a prologue, I'm guessing, to his miniseries. So
yeah, it could be like like the timeless thing or whatever.
yeah, so I'm
A little
definitely
preview of what might happen.
yeah, so definitely gonna check that out. Chris, are you in on this or what? Spider Boy #1. I'm out.
Number one for sure, just in case.
All right, maybe
But
I'll check it
we'll see how
out
it
online.
goes.
If you end up reading it, but I think I'm out on this one. I mean, it's written by Dan Slott, so I mean, there's something for folks.
Unless Spider-Man is ending and this is replacing it,
Uh,
because it looks like Peter Parker might be involved in a
yeah.
story,
Okay. Mm, all right.
but who
Yeah.
knows?
Good artist on it too, Paco Medina. He's good. So yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Looks like they're relaunching She-Hulk with the same writer though. The
yeah. I
sensation
don't understand this at all. Like, why don't they just go to like 16 and call it sensational? I don't know why you
number
got to throw that back to one.
number
And
one,
I read the
two.
solicitation. It's like, oh, we're bringing back all the same characters from the first 15. It's like, how is this any sort of reboot? And what's this needed number one for? And none of those
Number one,
covers interest me.
yeah, number ones do better than other
Yeah,
number 16s. Let's
well,
say.
it's not. This one's killing me.
Are you gonna be picking this up or no?
I don't want to, but who knows?
Then you got the White Widow. It's her sister,
Well, there's some
Yelena
nice covers for this one.
Yelena Belova. Yeah, is that a
I'm not sure who that one is, but Artgerm has one in there.
Adam
If
Hughes?
that's not a Rachel cover, I might get that. And there's an Adam Hughes.
Yeah,
Eeh. Adam Hughes, I'll buy his covers blind. Artgerm, I'll buy his covers blind.
true. So this is one of four miniseries. I don't have the rest of the other covers here, guys. But
Yeah.
check them out. Then we got a new Carnage series by your favorite writer, Chris Tora and Grunbeck. You checking this out? Oh boy.
This Torin Grumback, they're taking over. I guess this person's taking over like the Carnage or the symbiote world because he's doing. It's a he,
No,
right?
it's a she.
Or she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess she's doing Venom as well.
Yeah.
Not my favorite,
No.
but no, maybe she's got a better voice for non-Asgardians. I guess we'll see.
Maybe. I'm out on that
But
one
not
personally.
buying it.
Then we got Predator versus Wolverine #2. Yes.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm into that. Captain America #2. Yes, I'm sticking with this for now. And Spider-Man's in this issue, so double yes on that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, is that a Chris Somney cover? Yeah, it is. Nice. Is that a regular cover? Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the Chris Somney one. The Spider-Man one's nice though. But no, this one. This is the one I think here. Okay, next up, Daredevil number 2. Yes, for now. We'll see.
Yeah, for now.
Oh yeah, I gotta go with the JR cover there though. That's sick. I do like that one. Yeah. Then you got Ms. Marvel, the New Mutant. No, that's the series. I guess that introduced
No.
her as a mutant. Another Jeff book. It's Jeff, the Jeff first number 1. Yes.
I'll read this one online. I'm not getting suckered by Jeff again.
I have to because Christine will want this one. So I'm all in on this. I'm all in. Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood number 1. I might
I
check
might
this.
be into this.
Yeah, I might check this out online.
I like the second cover here.
Oh yeah, nice. What most interests me, I will say about this, which will at least get me to check out the first issue, whether online or physical release. I don't know yet, but probably online. Garth Ennis writes one of the stories in here, which I'm a huge fan of, and he
Yeah.
doesn't really do much work these days, at least in Big Two. So
Yeah, they get some big writers in here to do some one shots for sure. This is like anthology stories, right? This isn't an ongoing sort of
yeah, it's the same thing. They're
storyline.
anthologies, 3 different stories each issue, just like the Harley Quinn that we read, basically in all black, white. The Harley Quinn gimmick, they're copying from Marvel. They're the ones that started this black, white, and blood thing, right? So,
Yeah.
Crypt of Shadows number 1. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out.
Passing, I think.
I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm gonna check.
Yeah, well, man.
Yes, I'm all in on this. This is so
That's a nice cover, though.
Yeah, this is so ridiculous. I need to pick this up. I mean, if anybody remembers the 90s Cap, he fucking turned into this guy called Cap Wolf. And if he's leading his own group of Howling Commandos here against fighting some Nazis, which it says in the solicits here, I'm in 100%.
I got suckered with Sergeant Rock versus the Nazis. I don't know, maybe.
I'm in. Wow, look at this. They're doing more Hallows Eve. This is a one shot by the same creative team that has been doing the miniseries that we've been reading. Hallows Eve, the big night number
I don't
1.
know if they got some plans for this character or what, but they're really pushing her like crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is the same. I mean, this might just be because it's October and we're seeing a lot of the,
Yeah.
the more like spookier books here right now. But it is the same creative team, and they're doing a one shot. So
I might get it because I did like that Hallows Eve miniseries, even though it's just online, just reading it online.
Yeah, it has been decent. And speaking of Juan Ferreira, who I mentioned earlier, liking on that Wonder Woman book, we got him drawing a new miniseries of Spider-Man here, Spine Tingling Spider-Man number 1 of 4.
Yeah, I'm out of this one.
Me too. But shout out to that artist. He's good. Amazing Spider-Man 35 and 36. Yes. Now let's look at these covers. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, if that's not a variant, I'm buying that. But that's a good one there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this. You like this one?
I don't mind that one there, but that could be a ratio variant. It's a Gleason, I think.
Yeah. And
that one's not.
Oh, look at this. You got Gleason on the first issue, 35 and 36. You got McGinnis. This is great.
Yeah.
Whoa. Nice cover. Those are some good ones. I don't know, man. I gotta go with the Black Cat probably though, if it's a regular variant. Which
yeah, I know that.
That one's good too. They're all good.
That's a nice
good
one.
Covers. So is that. Venom number 26. You're still in on this? Whoa.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool. Look who's writing it, Chris. Torrin Grunbeck, the Stink of the Widows. So does that mean that the other writers are done, or what's going on here?
I guess maybe she's the new writer.
2 issues, or she's just doing this whole Venom crossover. 2 issues this month, 26 and 27. Yeah. Torrin Grunbeck. Wow, Chris. She's infiltrating all your titles. Miles Morales, Spider-Man. No. Yes. Superior Spider-Man Returns number 1. Yeah. Dan Slott.
Is this like happening in like the real timeline, or is this like a throwback to the?
I think it's a throwback. Let's read the solicit here. Okay. The Spider team that redefined. I mean, Stegman's one of the artists on here, and so is Mark Bagley, Umberto Ramos, and Giuseppe Camicoli. Those were all artists during this period of time. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I'm all in on this one. The Spider team that redefined Spider-Man Returns to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. Blah, 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 blah. Peter Parker, Doc Ock together again for a Spider-Man story superior to all others. So maybe it isn't a flashback. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But
Yeah.
what are
I'll probably give it a go.
I
I
gotta go
missed
with
all this stuff the first time around, so I'll see what it's all about.
I gotta go with this Stegman cover on this one. This one right here. Yeah. Red Goblin, no. Spider-Man India, no. Uncanny Spider-Man, no.
No.
Jean Grey, no. Astonishing Iceman, no. Uncanny Avengers, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading this. Dark X-Men. I'm definitely reading this online. This is
I think
piquing
I'm
my
probably
interest.
buying this one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice cover. Nice. Realm of X, number 3 of 5. Torrin Grunbeck. Wow, she is killing it on these. Like
All over the place.
wow, maybe we're alone on not being fans of hers. I don't know. X-Men 27. Yes.
Yes. I know what's going on, but that's a sick cover there. Whatever's
Yeah.
going on with Cyclops.
Oh, but that's the classic like X-Men animated series. Oh, that's kind of no Cyclops there. Never mind. Gotta go with this one though for sure. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're all I guess they're in the midst of Fall of X during this period of time, right? In October still.
I'd
Looks like
imagine.
Alpha Flight. You're getting this?
Yeah, yeah.
I might read it online. I'm not getting it. Children of the Vaults. No. X-Men 28 as well this month. Looks like you get 2 issues. Nice.
Yep.
X-Men Red number 16. No. X-Force 45. No. Invincible Iron Man 11. Yeah, I'll continue to read this.
Yes,
Looks like
I'm getting in on this.
yeah, for sure. Oh, you're gonna be picking this up.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. I mean, I've been picking up the trades of this. It's been great. Immortal X-Men number 16. Yes.
Yep.
I fucking dropped this. I gotta go look for the last 2 issues. I don't know why I fucking dropped that one. I regret that one. Wow, look at this cover. Sick.
Yeah.
Wolverine.
I gotta buy this one. Wolverine, Captain America. Gotta get them.
That's always a great fucking team up. Yeah, you're right. Reunited. Yeah, Cap and Wolverine. That's not something that happens all the time. Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be reading this online, but that is a sick cover. Magneto 3 of 4. No.
No.
Then we got the Fasimil shit. Reprints. Moon Knight. No, but I do read it in trade. Moon Knight versus Werewolf by Night, Marvel Tales number 1. I think this is a reprint. Yeah, it's the original. This was his first appearance, I want to say. I think was in Werewolf by Night at Moon Knight, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Moon Knight City of the Dead 4 of 5. No. Avengers 6, yes.
Yeah. They gotta come up with some better covers though. All these covers are starting to look the same.
No, it's true. Avengers 7.
I think it's just the freaking team, whatever, bursting through.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting these Avengers issues, but you're right. They're very basic. Marvel Unleashed 3 of 4, yes.
Yeah, I'll probably be down for that.
Oh, look, you got a Wolverine dog there. That's awesome. That's by Kyle Starks, of course, who's killing it right now. Avengers Inc. number 2. I'm gonna be reading this online. I think last list, as I said, I'm gonna be picking it up. But when I was doing cuts on the recent previews right now, didn't make the cut. But I'm gonna read it online, and if I like it, I'm gonna pick up the trades. Sounds interesting. Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy number 2, no. Immortal Thor 3, yes.
Yeah.
Nice cover, Alex Ross. That one sucks. Yeah, that one. This is the cover right here. Scarlet Witch 9, no. Oh, Magneto's coming back though. That's cool. Unfortunately, though, from what I understand, is it's no longer in continuity that he's her father, which I don't like that they changed that.
Yeah.
So that's not cool. And number 10 looks like got a couple of things coming out twice this month. Or maybe October's a short month because these ones say
I don't know. Yeah, a lot of them say it's like coming in November.
Yeah, yes, that's why I think they're just listing them early because October might be one of those like short months or something. So maybe that's why. X-Men Days of Future Past, Doomsday, no. Deadpool, Batter Blood.
I hear that's good though. That Days of Future
What's
Past.
that?
I hear it's
Oh yeah,
good.
really?
Yeah.
Deadpool, Batter Blood, 5 of 5, no. Your boy Rob Liefeld. Black Panther 5, no. Ghost Rider, no. Ghost Rider Annual, no. Blade, no. Incredible Hulk. Are you gonna continue with this one?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Ooh,
I like that
yeah,
cover. That's a nice
that's a
cover.
good one. Doctor Strange 8, yes. I'm still reading this. And 9, yeah, this is the November issue, yeah. That's a good one. Phil Noto there. Guardian 7, no. Fantastic Four 12, no. I don't know.
Maybe.
I this
I think I got 10 and 11 coming
It's the
for
most
whatever reason.
frustrating book. I didn't read the last issue. That was the first issue I didn't read it, which is like 8 or 9 or something. But like, and I've been reading it digitally. But like, this is the one book where I feel like it's not working 100% for me, and I want it to, and I like certain aspects of it, but I'm not all in on it. So it's very frustrating. This title, I don't know. I'm not sold on it, and I feel like you should only get like 6 issues, like a 5 or 6 issue arc for me to like be sold on it,
Yeah.
and I've yet to be like wowed by this one, so I don't know if I'm gonna continue reading it. Strange Academy, Amazing Spider-Man #1. This is a one shot. No, I don't even know why they're putting out these one
Yeah.
shots.
I don't even know what this is all about.
The series is over. Either relaunch it or don't bother with these fucking one shots. Alien Annual. Oh, this is where the Alien Star Wars stuff comes, and we don't read
Yeah.
this stuff. So I do like the idea of this Dark Droids miniseries, though. That's kind of cool. I do like this, but I don't think I'm gonna read it. But very cool. That's it. I think that's it. Star Wars and Mandalorian, all that shit. Yeah, okay, that's it for the Marvel solicits for this for October. Whoa, what's going on there?
Ooh, funky.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the October 2023 Marvel solicitations, guys, that we're going to be looking at this week. Next week, we got DC and maybe some of the other publishers. And let's talk about what we're reading next week. Chris, you got your list?
I got a list of what I'm buying at least. I got Amazing Spider-Man 30, Avengers 3, Hulk 2, Ultimate Invasion 2, Venom 23, and looking forward to the X-Men Hellfire Gala. It's supposed to start it all off. I am getting the Night Terror Angel Breaker because it's got like I think an Ivan Tao cover. That's looking pretty sick. Nightclub 6. I thought this might have been over. I forgot about them, but they're coming back out. And I think there's a bunch of other ones I'll probably be reading. I think there's like a She-Hulk and some other stuff there.
Yeah, Nightclub. That's the last issue, I think, next week of
Yeah.
that. Yeah. All right, I'm just pulling up my list here. Okay, what I'm actually picking up physically, we got Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor #1. That definitely is picking that up. Amazing Spider-Man 30, Avengers 3, Red Room Crypto Killers #3, Ultimate Invasion #2, TMNT Usagi, which I said it was going to come out this week, but then it got pushed back. So that's the last issue that comes out next week. #5, World Tree #4, and X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023 #1, which is, I'm really looking forward to that. Those are things I've pre-ordered that I'm picking up and things I might read digitally. I do want to mention this one because this might go over a lot of people's heads. But speaking of Garth Ennis, I just mentioned earlier, he has a new 8-issue miniseries coming out from AWA Studios, which is one of the newer kind of publishers, called Ribbon Queen. I'm going to check that out online. It seems like it might be like a murder mystery type story or horror book of some sort. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Garth Ennis, so I'm going to check that out. What else do we got here? Let's take a look here. I think like Chris mentioned, Hulk's coming out, so I'm definitely going to check that out. I might check out again a couple of these Night Terrors, although it's going to be a bigger week, so maybe not. Night Terror is the actual #2 of the main miniseries. I'll probably read that at the very least. I don't know about these other ones though. Detective comes out. Oh, the Harley one comes out. I'll read that. I'll read the Harley one. Detective maybe, but the Batman ones haven't been that good. And there's a Titans one, which I don't even think it's written by Tom Taylor, so I probably won't bother with that one. And then Marvel, let me just see very quickly if there's any other Marvel stuff I'm gonna be reading digitally. Or Image. Firepower number 25 comes out next week. I think that might be the return of Firepower, so I might check that out digitally. Nightclub number 6, as Chris mentioned. Chris, you got Per Evil comes out next week. I know you're looking forward to that one.
Love the cats.
Yeah. Let me just see here. Yeah, Avengers means Spider-Man already said. That might be it for Marvel. Maybe just the Hulk that Chris said, Incredible Hulk number 2. Oh, Invincible Iron Man number 8 comes out next week. Definitely gonna read that.
Yeah.
And the last issue of the Hallows Eve miniseries comes out next week.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
so I'll probably read that
well.
one online as well. No, She-Hulk I'm reading in trade right now. Yeah, Ultimate Invasion already mentioned. Venom comes out next week. I don't know if you're reading that. Wolverine I'll probably check out next week. That comes out next week, number 35. And yeah, that's it. That's it for things I think I'm reading next week online, as well as digitally, as well as physical releases. So that's going to do it for what we're looking forward to checking out next week, guys. Chris, your favorite book of the week, my friend?
Well, I was hoping it would be better, but I'll give it the Big Game. It was a slow week.
Yep. Not a crazy week of releases, not too many contenders. So I'm also going to give it to Big Game. There you go, guys. Yeah, just because I read this one digitally, so I can't hold it up. But there you go, guys. We both had the, it's been, I think we have, is 2 back-to-back weeks now. I think we've had our same favorites, because last week I think it was Spider-Man that we both agreed on, right?
Yeah, but Spider-Man was a good one, though.
Yeah. No, Big Game was good. Come on, man. I mean,
that was okay.
I mean, listen.
I was expecting more.
If it was a
strong, I want to see more blood and guts.
If it was a strong, it'll come, man. Nemesis is in this. Who knows? But
I want him to hit me with this is where I want to get hit over the head with it. I don't get hit over the head with nightmares.
Bro, they gotta build up like 100
no, they don't.
characters.
You get them to slice them all right off the bat.
All right.
But, they just went through the bachelors. Boom.
The only guy that picks the book and then just talks shit about it. Yeah, this is my favorite. Fuck this book. Listen, I agree with you in the sense that if it was a stronger,
but it was good.
If it was a stronger week, would this be my favorite? Probably not. It may have, but this was the best book this week.
Yeah.
And you got to pick the books that, where you got to play them where they lay, Chris. You got to say which ones were the weeks they come out.
Like if we ever had to make a pyramid, like of our best books of the week, this one would lose in the first round, no problem.
Fair. Okay, I'll give you that. But yeah, big game number 1, guys. Check it out if you're so inclined after all the
stellar review. Their favorite book. But if we put them against anyone, it would lose, no problem.
If there's one thing we accomplished by doing this show, other than like just enjoying each other's company, one of these days, Chris, I want to see, like, how they put pull quotes on the trade paperbacks from I want Chris of Comic Shop Talk. It was fine. If we were building a pyramid of all the books that came out, this would be out first round. That's a full quote I want on the trade paperback of this book, guys.
Our rise to glory.
Make it happen. Send Mark Millar messages and let him know about Comic Shop Talk, guys.
That's it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Always a good time, Chris. Thank you for this. And we're on.
All right. Thank you.
On the road to 100, guys. Stay tuned. We're at episode 86.
Right.
On the road to 100, which will be just before the.
Well, keep that train rolling.
That's right. As long as the comics keep coming out. For now, we'll be continuing. We'll see what happens past 100. All right, guys. We have more weeks like this. I don't know. All right.
I'm still buying them.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.